Today we're on the playground. Y'all just was, I ain't even going out like that. Welcome to the playground, people. Today on the playground we got no other than Mike Grubbs. And I know that you think you know, but you don't. So with that being said, I want y'all to help me welcome my guest, Mike Grubbs. What's up,
man?
bro?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Man, I appreciate it.
Man, look here. I try, in between slide and, the merry-go-round. I try to get a couple of shows in there. So tell the people, who is Mike Grubbs?
Mike Grubbs is a po' boy from the country that got blessed. I always refer to that because if anyone ever met my dad, Joe Grubbs, he always say the same thing. And the older I get, the more it makes sense to me. Small town USA, born and raised in a small town called Chattahoochee, Florida, which is on the border of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. As a matter of fact, it's the city that starts right before time goes back an hour. So once you cross the bridge in Sneed, time go back an hour. So we're right there on that border. Small town USA, our senior class only had 35 people in the senior class. 32 graduated.
Boy, that sounds like my intro for my cybersecurity bachelor. We started out with 35, we ended up with 5.
Wow. So super small town, USA. 3,500 people lived there at the height of it. And so it's where the Florida State Hospital, the state's first mental institution, is there. So you have people that come from all over to come work at the hospital. But needless to say, small town, 3 red lights in the whole city. And born and raised Chattahoochee, Florida, up until I got 15 years old. Then my life almost became like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I moved in with my father, who's a heart specialist, and used to fly all over the world. So I didn't move in with Uncle Phil. I moved in with my pops.
He was like, I was like, yo, home, the pops lace. I pull up.
Around 7 or 8.
I said to the cab, yo, home, smell you later. Man, that is magical, because now you get, it's what helped shape you, though.
Yeah.
Having that humble beginnings.
Absolutely.
And then being able to transition.
Absolutely.
Into staying with your father. And that part of life molded you too as well, because like I said, you're a creative guy.
Yeah. My upbringing has so much to do with it. So I was raised by my grandparents, my maternal grandmother and grandfather, and my dad's mom are the ones that raised me up all the way up to the point that I moved with him. And so as a young kid, I would walk around. I would say stuff like, son, you got to see and don't see. You got to hear and don't hear. You got to know and don't know. Or you got to...
You were stuck on the hooks.
I'm trying to listen. I'm 7, 8 years old, walking around here like I'm 80 years old. But I had all of this wisdom because my grandfather was the first entrepreneur I ever met in my life. Didn't graduate from high school, left school in the 5th grade. But when it came to business, he knew it inside, outside, forward, and backwards. Rental properties. He was farming. We grew everything: cantaloupes, oranges, grapes, all type of fruits, vegetables. And he worked at the Florida State Hospital for 32 years. And they would never promote him to be more than the supervisor because he didn't have a high school diploma. But he trained everybody that took his position. So coming up young and you having that type of experience from somebody that's seasoned and then older, so that's what gave the wisdom. And then when I moved in with my dad at 15 years old, like, he just showed me a different part of life. And he told me that you can be anything that you want to be in life. As long as you walk with character, discipline, integrity, there's nothing that you can't do. So I had the perfect balance. I learned how to get it out the mud. And then I also learned how to be educated, equipped, empowered, so that way I can conquer the world.
And you know what, though? It took that level of balance.
It did.
To get you where you at now.
It did.
And that is a fantastic thing, because most kids, they don't get that balance.
That's right.
They get either one side or the other. And like myself, I definitely got balance because my family was on the south side of Jacksonville.
Wow. Okay.
And then my other part of my family was down the street from Raines High School.
Wow.
You talk about a vastly swing.
That's night and day.
Dynamics.
Yeah.
Then I went to school on the south side for elementary some.
Mm-hmm.
Then my parents moved over there by Paxson.
Okay.
So now you got a kid where I remember being the only black kid in the class.
Wow.
To now there's a whole classroom full of black kids.
Wow. Culture change.
Yeah, so I have that level of dynamics as far as adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also what helped foster creativity.
Yeah.
Because you have to be creative when you go between two different genres like that.
That's right. That's right.
And I mean, you know all about creativity because you're a musician.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you help produce people's shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're like a multifaceted in the area of creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. The love of music has always been there. My dad played saxophone. He plays bass guitar. He plays a little piano. And so just indebted and enriched in music. Every Saturday morning, he and I would get together and we would go to what they call in Kansas City a swap shop. So every new CD that came out during the week, he and I, father-son trip, Saturday morning, we go to the swap shop, go pick up the new music, come back, blast it, and watch cars together. And so every house he's had, he's always had instruments. So I would sit at his house for hours just sitting and pucking and playing because I played trumpet in high school. He played saxophone, and then I would play piano and organ at his house. And so I just grew a natural love for music because music was all the way around.
Oh, man. And I mean, that's beautiful because you actually turned it into sort of like a life regimen.
Oh, yeah. 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 Music has always been on the back burner. And I don't care what area or what aspect of my life, music has always been there. It's the one thing that has never left me, no matter how I treated her.
He's like, I don't like you, trumpet. I love you, trumpet. I don't like you, keyboard. Mary had a little lamb.
I'm telling you, even when I went to church, one of the reasons that I started, back going to church is because I went to visit a church one day and a 15-year-old kid, my late great Bishop Willis Rain, had 17 kids. And all his kids were either musicians or they were preachers. And so his youngest son, Jason, at 14 years old, he's playing not only the keyboard parts, but the bass guitar parts as well. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, there's no way this kid, 14 years old, can play all these songs. I don't care what you start singing, he's able to pick up to it. So I started going to church just so I could sit next to him and watch him play every Sunday.
So you can figure out how to do it.
I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you implemented it. You implemented it into your life because you play the piano every day.
Yeah. I'm just at a point now over the course of the last year, I really, really started taking it serious. I've learned more over the last year than I have in my 49 years of living when it comes to the piano in and of itself. And one of the reasons being is because I use it to teach me patterns. So I play chess at least 2 hours a day. I play piano 3 hours a day. Chess allows me to see patterns. Music allows me to hear patterns. So even when it comes to business now, I'm always looking and trying to identify patterns. Because people, as we say, can make their mouth fried chicken. People can tell you anything. But all day and all night long. But when you're able to go back and see the patterns, then you can almost predict outcome.
And see, that's why I tell people, I say, look, anytime you want to do business with me, you have to come see where business starts.
Come on, sir.
Once you see where business starts, then we can begin business.
Come on, sir.
Because as somebody who's owned a stereo shop, I've owned a janitorial service.
Wow.
I've been on the playground. When I started the playground,
I
started the playground just because I wanted to bring other podcasters on and kind of run them through the experience of being on a podcast. But then I said, you know what? Playground is multifaceted. It's an area for creativity.
It is. Because
Lord knows you can be on the playground playing with somebody who you would normally never talk to.
That's right.
It's where they come, they gather, they collect.
Oh, that's good.
And I figured running into all these collective people and all these talents and all these skills, no matter what it's in, it's just amazing.
Wow. That's one of the amazing things about being on the playground, because it's not who you are or where you're from. As long as we have something that we can do together, it brings us together. It unites us collectively and holistically.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I've had more church on the playground than I've been to church. Let me tell you. Woo. Amen. I've had more books than I've had more authors than I've read books.
Come on. Wow.
So having those creative individuals. I mean, I think my youngest author was maybe, I think she was 22.
Wow.
And she wrote a book. And I was like, man, this is awesome. I mean, I can't relate to the book, but I have daughters that can relate to her story because they hopefully will never live that life. But there might be stuff in that book that can pertain to them.
Yeah. I do a lot of writing. Back in December, I started writing on marriage, relationships, and dating. And I get almost 1 million views a month now just off of the posts that I write. But I'll tell you this, it's music that helps me write. Because in music, not just rhythm, but also pattern and understanding what goes where. So I may have a word here, and based off a chord or something that I hear, I write the music. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get up, I start jazz to playing, and as I'm listening to music, it allows me to write. And I'm always looking and shifting words and paragraphs and phrases on what works and what doesn't work, just based off of the music transitions or whatever I'm listening to at the time.
And see, I think about that in the aspect of this level of creativity, or as I built the studio, but I don't want to stop there.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go back and start streaming. So now I'm working on the streaming components.
Wow.
So I want to be able to do straight lives from here with no interruptions. And I've got the no interruption part down. Knock on wood. So now it's just a matter of visualizing it and then running it to completion.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen because I can see where you started from and where you are now. And once you get into the place to where you know you want to do something like streaming. So I started a studio, my business partner and I, back in 5 years ago now, and we put a lot of money into the studio, right? But the vision was not just the studio; it was to do television. It was bigger than doing television. It's being able to take what's going on in this room and allow that to be portrayed all over the world. And when you capture that and you're around other people that are creators, your mind is always spinning. So you'll never settle because you'll always see something else that you want to do.
Trust me, I know I will never settle because let me tell you, between this studio, custom building barbecue grills,
wow,
doing photography, baking with my daughters, and just anything is creative is always a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who it is or what it is. It's always been a draw. And that's what I see in everybody who comes on the playground. I see that level of creative draw.
Yeah.
Because there are people who want to be creative that just might not be quite creative.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, they don't quite qualify for the playground. But I do have other shows that I produce that their level of creativity, because it's still creative, because it's creative to them, their level of creativity pours over into the other shows.
Right.
So it would be a better fit instead of saying, oh, yeah, no, we're just not your cup of tea. But look, I produce 7 shows. So 1 out of 7, you should fit somewhere. If you don't, unfortunately, it's just not for you. I hate to be the one to say that, but I'm going to say what you don't want to hear. It's not for you.
Wow, that's one thing about being a creator. So creators create. And creators are attracted to other people that create. And so when you have people that understand their lane, a lot of times it's not, it motivates you. It pushes you when you see what other people are able to do with the time, energy, effort, the resources, and the capability that they have. Oh, you did that? Oh man, I just got an idea. If you did it that way, then I can do it this way, and I can get this. Or you shot it that way, I probably would have shot it this way. So let me try this shot out. Let me try this angle out. But it's all motivated by seeing someone else doing some of the same things that you do. So creators create, but they also attract.
Well, yeah, because even though you're creative, your creativity can feed off somebody else's creativity.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, that's how a lot of it works.
That's right.
That's how music comes together, because even though Michael Jackson put out a whole bunch of music, he was still inspired by somebody else. Nat King Cole, inspired by somebody else.
That's right.
Luther Vandross, inspired by somebody else.
That's right.
All these people, Lisa Colt Jam, inspired by somebody else.
That's right.
And then they turned it into their own creations.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder. I'm just saying, he couldn't even see it. But you don't need to see to have creativity.
That's right. Yeah, creativity, I believe, is a gift that God deposits into the lives of people. And the thing about creators are they're visionaries. And one of the biggest issues that I find is you have two types of people. You have visionaries, right? Or creators, people that can see where it is that they're going. But a lot of time they just don't have the resources
to get there.
So, and it was like that way even in biblically. You had kings that had resources, but they didn't have vision or creativity. So they had to be paired up with prophets. Even today in business world, you have banks that have resources, but they can't create. So what they do is they try to find people like you and I. And if we can give them a vision plan to show them our vision and what we're looking to create, they'll bring the resources to funnel the vision.
Yep.
So you have those two type of people. You have those that provide the resources, and then you have those that create the opportunity.
And it takes both parties.
It does.
It's not a one-sided deal.
It does. It does.
And that's one of the things that, I mean, like when we met, you was like, hey, have you ever thought about owning a network? I was like, nope. Because I mean, truthful, I'm face value.
Right.
So I wasn't gonna be like, oh yeah, when I hadn't.
Yeah.
But my goals was just to make here better than I started.
I understand.
I had no other goal outside of making no other goal outside of that, but just to make here better than what I started with.
Absolutely.
And then buy the toys that I want.
Absolutely. One of the reasons I approached you was because of this. When, let's take YouTube, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is nothing more than a website, www.youtube.com, right? It's a place that they understood that if I built a website and I allow creators to take their content
and put it on
my website, they're going to tell their friends, their family members, and other people to come watch what they've created on my website. And if they can bring eyeballs, then I can go to companies, I can go to corporations, and I can leverage these eyeballs.
Yep.
So if I got 1 million, 5 million, 30 million people, eyeballs watching my website, watching their content, now companies will put their brand, their products and services in front of these eyeballs. So because I own the website, right?
Now I'm the benefactor.
I'm the benefactor, so I'm gonna give you a percentage. I give you 55% of what you bring in, but because you're on my website, I'm keeping 45% because I forced the relationship, and they don't have to do any of the creating.
Yeah, they don't have to do nothing but just keep the platform up.
Keep the platform. They don't have to do no advertising, no marketing. You're not gonna see no YouTube commercial because they don't have to, because the content creators are the commercial.
Yep.
And so with me, I know that they're creators. So what I started doing is let me put you in a position so that way you can monetize the content that you create. Rather than getting 55%, let me posture and position you so you can get 100% and host everything that you create.
And see, like I said, when we originally started this, because it was me and 2 other friends,
Mm-hmm.
and they had been talking about it for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And I said, man, look, shut up or show up. Shut up or show up. Because we was at work, we was playing pool.
Wow.
So I was like, look, either you gonna show up or you gonna shut up. And then they showed up. And like I said, I set up 3 black curtains.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, this is really horrible.
Wow. Wow.
And it wasn't because of the content.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because when you're doing it in a studio like this,
That's right.
the echo was unreal.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went through the process of killing the echo. Then I went through the process of upgrading that. Then I was like, you know what? Let's do green screen. So the studio has the ability to turn into a 16-foot long green screen wall.
Wow.
That's 8 feet tall.
Wow.
So then I was like, oh man, we're going to do an all green screen studio. So we did all green screen for about maybe, I want to say about 12 shows. Then I was like, man, I don't even want to do that much editing. So then I changed the studio up to another iteration. And then this was the final iteration of it.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this works.
Yeah. But that's the thing about being a creator. When you're in an atmosphere where other creators are and they have an opportunity to come to the playground, if you will, and you're hearing about the ideas, like everything motivates you. Like it's like as a creator, your brain never turns off.
It doesn't. You stay up all night
long
until the next morning. Case in point, today, I was up this morning at like 4, and the only thing I could think of was, man, I hope this little table shows up. I hope this little table shows up. I hope it comes all put together. It did not come all put together, but it did show up.
Wow.
Then I was like, man, hopefully the online content PC shows up. It ain't show up. So I said, all right, hey, I'll take a win where I get it.
Wow.
It'll be here today. So it's always that's what's next.
That's right. That's right.
In the evolution of what you're doing.
That's right.
That in turn makes you creative. Because like I said before, I look at the fact that you're a musician, you're a father, you produce people, you manage people, you direct. You have a whole lot of creativity that creates Mike Grubbs.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, you know what? I got to get him on the playground. I got to have him on the playground. And anybody else with that creativeness. If you're creative, welcome to the playground.
Wow. And it's contagious. So all of my kids are creators. My oldest son in the military plays video games, content, creator. My second to the oldest son is a music artist. 6-figure salary in corporate America, but he's been around music since he's been this small. I have him sitting on the floor at 10 years old on YouTube now playing a piano, writing his first song. And so now he's a music artist whose industry about to take off. But again, he does music videos. He's doing 2 or 3 a month now. Content creator.
Yep.
I got twins that are right up under them. My male twin, Jared, content creator, he has 20,000 views and he goes all over the country producing content. His twin sister, Jada, is an esthetician and she do more social media content than probably anybody in the family. But it's contagious because when you're around creativity, you surround yourself with creativity.
And it pushes you to want to create.
It does. It does.
It really does. And like I said, I've met a lot of creative people from the chefs. I mean, I've talked to 2 people who have a love for cooking. One guy does this thing called the Tiny Kitchen. And let me tell you, he has a line of seasonings.
Wow.
And that's creative because most people who cook just love to cook.
That's right.
They very rarely go, you know what, I'm coming up with a line of seasonings and you're going to like them.
Wow.
Because to them, it's the passion of cooking. It's not the passion of selling.
Wow. Well, one of the reasons that we are the way we are is because the word create is one of the first words in the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He's an architect. And so in our lives, the way that we get ahead, the way that we stand strong and move forward is through our ability to create. People hire you based on your ability to create. And so the more we master our creative skills, the more we're around other people that are creative, the more the brain flows to ideas because ideas flow to ideas and money flow to ideas.
Yep.
So as our ideas are produced, people will put money to it. They'll spend money on it, but it has to be created. Everything starts and ends and begins on the blackboard of the mind.
It does.
And that's where the creativity starts.
I mean, you take it all these authors. I talked to one author and he said that somebody told him that he needs to put his memories to paper.
Wow.
And he brushed it off. And then later on, he put his memory to paper and now he's selling books.
Wow.
So there's a level of creativity and there's different people who push you towards your level of creativity. And some people don't need that push.
That's right. That's right.
But it's awesome to see so many creative people.
That's right. Well, you can't not see creation because everything is creation. This table that's sitting right here, somebody in late in the midnight hour was laying down and said, I'm going to build a table.
Yeah, that would be me.
And my table is going to be different than this table.
that would be me. I built 2 of these.
And my table is going to look like this. And this is the purpose for that table, right? And so they said it was a thought that they began to say. And then after saying, they put it on paper, they expressed the idea. And now you're looking at a table that began in somebody's mind.
Yeah, it began in mine. I was in the Home Depot aisle. And I said, man, I should probably build a table because I don't want to go out there and buy one.
Come on.
So I was like, You know what?
Come on.
They got 2 of these rounds. Let me go get 2 of these rounds. Next thing you know, $180 later, I had 2 tables. 2 tables, some L brackets, and a whole lot of sawdust to clean up.
Yeah, creativity is all around us. The books, creativity, television, creativity, the chairs we in, the clothes we have on.
Creativity. Because your clothes tell the story that you want to tell.
That's right. That's right.
So depending on what you wear and how you wear it, you know, it tells the story that you want to tell.
That's right. That's right. And so creativity sparks creativity.
Always.
Yep.
Always. So on social media, where can people find Mike Grubbs?
I'm on Facebook, and you can just put in Mike Grubbs. I'll pop up on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Mike Word Teacher. And then on TikTok, again, it's Mike Grubbs. YouTube, it's Mike Grubbs.
Who? Mike Grubbs.
Mike Grubbs.
What? Mike Grubbs.
So I'm on all the platforms out there: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. If you name, you just type in Mike. Just Google me, as the young folks say. Google me, Mike Grubbs.
Hit me in my DMs. Oh my goodness. So, like I like to tell people, you know, this isn't your last time on the playground.
Oh, thank you.
You're always welcome to come back.
Thank you.
You know, because like I said, all these guests are creative, and creative builds creativeness.
That's right.
So whether it's acting, directing, writing, music, makeup, fashion, automotive, whatever your creative is, come on down. You know what you can do? You can look and you can hit them DMs and say you want to be on the show. And then guess what? You might have that opportunity. Just remember, this ain't about somebody that wronged you. This ain't that kind of playground. I will put you down. So, with that being said, Mike, I want to say thank you for coming out, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you coming through. This playground is always available and always open.
I appreciate it.
You know, I might be on the swings. There's only 2 seats, so I ain't sharing mine. So you might have to push one of them other kids off.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome to come back. And with that being said, I'm finna head over here to the water fountain because the line getting long. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later. We out. Peace.
Wow.